everyone! So back in December when I was doing Vlogmas, I did a TBR of big books I wanted to read, and I also talked a bit about social media and the pressures of like wanting to read more and so therefore choosing shorter books. So I thought today I would go over some of the bigger books that I have read this year. I have got a stack that's quite heavy. And one of them is actually not included in this because I can't find my copy, so I don't know whether or not I got rid of it or not. But one of my goals was to read longer books, so I set my Goodreads goal to be quite short. I only set it at 20 books and I've already passed that. So I have read 6 books over 500 pages this year. And I'm pretty happy with that, seeing as it's like the end of May. So in about 5 months, I've read about a long book or 2 every month. So yeah, the first book that I read this year was The Mysteries of Udolpho by Anne Radcliffe, and that's the one I can't find. It is somewhere, I have gotten rid of it. I had a really old Oxford copy, so I have a feeling that I purged it, but that one was a struggle to get through. It was very like overly dramatic and gothic and was maybe not the best way to start off the year with long books, but I did enjoy it. I wouldn't necessarily reread it, but it's definitely gave me a better understanding of like the intertextualities behind Northanger Abbey and kind of the whole gothic and romantic genre, and I thought it was really fantastic. So next up was one that I actually really didn't enjoy, and that was Vanity Fair by William Makepeace Thackeray. And I still have this edition because it's absolutely beautiful, but I'm not sure if it's going to survive my move. I read this with Elena and Ange, and we read about 50 pages a day, and that's the only reason I managed to finish it, because it was just such a chore. Not that the plot itself was uninteresting, just that Thackeray tends to interpose really long sections that are really boring. Like you get like 50 pages that were fantastic and you're like, yeah, I'm really excited to read my 50 pages the next day, and then it would be something really boring. But I read it, and it's been on my shelf for like 2 years, so I'm really happy that I read it. Next up is the first Dickens. There's going to be a lot of Dickens in this. I've read a lot of Dickens this year. And that is Leecast by Charles Dickens. I actually powered through this in 4 days and absolutely love this. This is one of my favorite Dickens, and I just think it's absolutely fantastic. Yeah, I can't recommend this book enough. I would say maybe not start with this one for Dickens because it does have a very complicated plot, in that there are lots of characters to keep track of and it does get a little bit confusing, so maybe read something else for your first Dickens, but absolutely adore this. I think the dual narrative is fantastic and just really love this book. Next up is another Dickens, shocker, and that is Little Dorrit. Also really love this. I half listened to this and half read this. I listened to the audiobook by Simon Vance, which I really enjoyed. This deals with debtor's prison and kind of social standards, and is a really interesting one. I didn't love it as much as Bleak House, but I did really enjoy this. Now, the next 2 are actually the ones that I finished this month, so kind of a little sneak peek at some reviews coming up. The first one is Charlotte Bronte's Shirley, which I loved. Oh my god, I love this almost as much as I love Villette and The Tenant of Wildfell Hall. Maybe even more so. This is fantastic. It is one of the few classics that actually focuses on female friendship, and female friendship over like the quest to get married. Like it's just so absolutely fantastic. I really, really enjoyed this. I give this 5 out of 5 stars. Highly, highly recommend it. Love it so much more than Jane Eyre. And just, yeah, it's just fantastic. Go read this if you haven't already. Don't be intimidated by its big size. I think I finished this in like 3 days, and it's just over 500 or 600 pages. This is a bind up with The Professor, another one of Charlotte Bronte's novels. And yeah, just absolutely love this. And then almost immediately after I finished Shirley, it was one of the first books I've actually listened to entirely on audiobook, and that is David Copperfield by Charles Dickens, which I listened to the Richard Armitage narration on Audible, and I really, really love this book. Oh my god, I actually want to sit down and read it, even though I've just finished listening to it, but I feel like I maybe missed some things and want to read the physical book. That's how much I enjoyed it. Yeah, I'm gonna not say too much because I haven't given this a review yet, but absolutely love this. So those are some of the bigger books that I've read this year. I would say definitely my quest to read longer books and not be so influenced by like my Goodreads number has been successful. I think I've read 38 books total this year, so I'm well on my way to like passing the standard total of 50. But I haven't felt much pressure. Like there's been some months I've read like a ton. Like in February and March I read about 10 books each. And then I had a bit of a slump in April and I only read about 5 books, which was okay, and I didn't feel bad about it. So I think definitely taking a step back from social media and like focusing more on what I'm reading as opposed to like the amount that I'm reading has definitely been beneficial. So let me know in the comments down below if you guys have tried this yourself, or if you want to try this, if you're finding your Goodreads like challenge a little bit stressful, maybe just take it down a notch or two and just focus on what you want to read and you might actually enjoy it a lot better. I will see you guys in another video. Bye!